Welcome to Inside Pleasantville School District. I'm Emily Rubin Persons, your host and Board of Ed trustee. Enter to learn, go forth to serve. These are the words you see as you enter our high school. This is the core of what Pleasantville School District community is all about. Our students enter school as kindergartners or whenever their families move to town, and our teaching teams and administrators work to provide an educational environment to inspire the learning journey of all our students. This episode is special because you get to hear from 3 of our students who are at different stages in their educational path. And you also get to hear from our high school department heads as they provide information about all the choices students have in courses offered in the high school. So I'm sitting here now with Caitlin Rubsman, a senior at Pleasantville High School and student government president, athlete, musician, singer, actress, student. You wear a lot of hats.
Yes, I do.
You do. And I really loved having you at the board meeting in January presenting with your fellow government student council. Was that fun? Was that nerve-wracking?
It was nerve-wracking, definitely. The 3 of us were very nervous right beforehand, but then once we started talking, or at least the nerves went away. But it was a really good experience.
That's good. Had you ever presented in a situation like that before?
No, not to. So it was a good challenge.
Yeah,
But I learned a lot from it, and working with faculty and students on it was really good.
Right. And we've had the student council come to the board meetings for most of the time that I've been on the board, and it's really nice because you're student government, we're government, so and we're here for you. So it's really nice to get the student voice to let us know, what's going on, things that you want, and stuff like that. So you've been student government president. So that's student government president for the entire high school, and then there's Tell me about it.
Last year I was our class president, and then this year everyone their positions in the class moved up to the school, and then we filled in with the remaining people we had in our class student government, filled into the class positions.
Okay.
But for student body president, it's not that much of a difference. I say the pledge, which is more of a thing. But other than that, we all still have weekly meetings on Mondays in Mr. Bafuto's room with all 4 of the classes.
Oh, okay.
And we plan fundraisers. We talk about if there are any issues in the school, or one thing that's come up a lot is the testing days. So we have a lot of conversations because in the high school, each subject gets allotted 2 days that they can test on.
Oh.
And so there's been a lot of back and forth, and actually all 4 years that I've been here in student government, about whether or not people want to have the testing days or not.
Oh, so what does that mean? Math
math tests can only test on Monday or Wednesdays. English can only test Tuesday, Thursday.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So I guess that kind of spreads it out so you don't end up with all 4 classes.
The goal is you can't have more than 2 tests in a day, but sometimes it doesn't work out with that, especially with electives and stuff. I'm in AP psychology, and so that's an elective, so it overlaps with some tests sometimes. Right.
And then if there's a snow day, that kind of messes things up.
Yeah.
So, that's it. And they've been doing that since you've...
Yeah. I don't know if they've been doing it longer, but they have been doing it the past 4 years.
Wow, that kind of teaches you how to juggle.
Yeah.
And monitor the way you study and things like that. And then also for the teachers, they have to monitor their teaching. Because sometimes, they might say, okay, there's going to be a test, but then realize, oh, wait a minute, we need another day. Or, oh, wait, we're ready, we could test early. But okay. So that's interesting. And how long have you been in student government?
Well, I technically started when I was in 4th grade.
4th grade?
Yes.
So so you like politics?
Yes, I do.
Right. Wow, 4th grade.
Yeah.
So you were with Mrs. Galati in 4th grade, and then, but is there student council? There's not student council in 5th and 6th grade, right?
No, there's not. There's Panther Pause, I think it's called.
Panther Pause, that's right.
Which is kind of like student council, but a little bit different. You don't have it until 8th grade, really.
Okay.
It's a little bit more student council in 7th grade, but it's not yet like full-fledged student council. And then like in 8th grade, we didn't have elections because they'd gotten rid of them when I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
But there was just like a general student council with like all the students who collectively just worked together and like, decided things.
So you're learning how to work together and talk about the issues with the principal, and kind of the beat on you have the beat of the student body.
Yeah.
And then you moved up to the high school, and then you have to do real elections, posters around.
Yes.
What's your motto?
I actually didn't have to run because freshman year I was not president, I was vice president.
Okay.
And I ran unopposed.
Oh.
Brian Strauss was our president.
Okay.
And then sophomore year I stayed vice president, and there was an election, but I didn't decide to run for president. And then it wasn't until the end of sophomore year that I got put into that position.
Okay.
Like voted into president, and then I just remained president.
Oh, so that was a little
So I
easy.
never had to run.
Okay, well that's good. So talk about some of the other things. Now you're also an athlete.
Yes.
What sports do you play?
I play field hockey, lacrosse, and I swim in the summer, but I also last year, because of COVID with the March season, there was a fall 2 season, and so I was able to swim for the school last March.
Oh,
which
right.
was
And
good
that's
too.
what's it called?
It's
A combined sport with other
Briarcliff,
districts.
Pleasantville, Valhalla, and Westlake.
Oh, that's great. That's nice. It's nice to be on a team, and particularly with the last couple of years, to just have that, get that energy out. Which is your favorite sport?
Field hockey.
Field hockey?
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard.
Yeah,
You got to
is
run
hard.
fast.
Yeah.
When did you start playing that?
When I was in 4th grade.
In
I started
fourth grade?
going. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
with
Did they have
Dad's
that
club.
in Dad's Club?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's since stopped. It used to start in 1st grade and go 1st through 6th, like most of the Dad's Club.
Okay.
But I didn't pick it up until I was a little bit older. But now, because I help with Dad's Club in the fall, we have it only from 3rd to 6th grade.
Oh, okay.
But-
and then it goes, well, that's kind of...
Yeah, and then it goes
because,
to modified.
you have to be able to hold the stick and the helmet.
Yeah.
Do you wear a helmet?
No.
No.
We have goggles.
Goggles.
Or
But-
the younger grades do.
But still, that's, for a 6 and 7-year-old, that's a lot
and
to
like,
maneuver.
There's a lot of rules too and things you can't do. So like also teaching that when you're younger is kind of
It's
challenging.
really tough. That's right. So field hockey, okay. And then you also, I know you're in the play.
Yes.
You're a Wix with my son.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to
Yes.
seeing you guys. It's a lot of singing and dancing.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. That's good. I've been helping out with the costumes, sewing the costumes. It's such a community
Yeah, it really is.
effort to get this play on. So I've been I can't wait to see the costumes on stage.
Yeah.
So, but you've been in the plays all along as well.
Yeah.
That's so
All the way
much fun.
through.
All the way through. I know. It's, people might be shy to get on stage and try, but it's such a welcoming, like, as long as you try out, everybody's in.
Yeah.
And I know both my 2 younger sons, my older son never did the plays, but my 2 young, they just was such a community. Their best friends are the people that they were on stage with. And it's not like some of their friends are, as you well know, I'm sure, are ensemble or tech, building, lighting.
Yeah.
It's all encompassing, which is great. And then you also do the flute and chorus.
Yes. Yeah, I do a little of everything. I think if I had to choose between chorus and the flute, would probably prefer the flute.
Okay.
I do, I'm in band in the school, and then we don't have a wind ensemble here, but I'm in a symphony outside of school too that rehearses every Monday night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which
That's
is
nice.
really cool to see everyone come together from all different schools, and we have where the band instruments and the string instruments come together.
Oh, that must be nice. And is it high school students or is it grown-ups too?
Yeah, it's high school students. It's audition only, and then we perform at Lincoln Center in the spring.
Wow,
Yeah.
that must be really exciting. Lincoln Center?
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. We weren't able to do it. I did it my freshman year. It was my first year with them, and we performed at David Geffen Hall.
Wow.
But then the past 2 years, because of COVID, we couldn't.
Because you couldn't.
Yeah.
So will you do it this year?
Yes, we're going to Alice Tully Hall this year, I think, and we're playing.
Oh my God.
It's a really cool experience.
So exciting. I played the flute. I tell you, my sister also still plays the flute, and I picked it up. I cannot remember the positions, but it's such a beautiful instrument.
is.
I really like it a lot. So, okay, so that's all your extracurriculars, which, in some respects there's a lot of conversation around a lot of the big learning actually does happen in the extracurriculars because you're socializing and troubleshooting and negotiating and, all of that stuff. But, you're a student here. So talk about some of the choices. We have so many different electives and, for classes, are you more of a scientist or are you more of a humanities?
Definitely more of a humanities person. I don't dislike the sciences, but I actually did not take a science this year, and I added 2 humanities electives.
Oh, okay.
AP Psychology and Humanities Research.
Oh.
Because I know I want to pursue something in the future, hopefully in the humanities realm. So I wanted to have more of an in-depth experience with more humanities classes, which is one of the things I like about Pleasantville so much, is that they have so many different electives and opportunities for classes you can take.
Right. This is the time to experiment. My older son took the environmental science class as a senior, and it changed everything for him. It was like, and it's great to, or for some kids, it's like, oh no, I don't like that. I don't want to pursue that. And that's a good thing. Do you take a lot of APs? Like, how do you balance your classes?
I kind of have a mix of APs and Regents classes. This year, I'm taking 3 AP classes and 1 Regents math class. But then I have my 2 electives. And I also took one of the Syracuse University classes, which were introduced into the school year this year. Both wouldn't fit into my schedule, but I took the Women and Gender Studies class with Miss Papa, and it was a really great experience.
How is it different from the AP? Because the AP is considered to be a college level class. Yeah. So how is the SUPA class? And SUPA is Syracuse University
Project Advance. No, I think it was very different from other AP classes that I've been in. For the most part, you're going off of, the 2 teachers who teach the classes, Ms. Saperstein and Mrs. Papa, are adjunct professors at Syracuse now. They went to a training over the summer.
That's nice.
And then we actually had the professors at Syracuse who teach the classes come visit our class.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And observe, which was really cool. But they basically, at the start of the school year, gave us a syllabus like we get in college with all of our due dates and everything, all the projects we're going to have. We went over it. And then the biggest difference for me is there's more of an emphasis on writing in the class. And it's less, a lot of times in my AP classes, we're looking at PowerPoints and taking guided notes.
Right.
And this class was more discussion based, where we would be given, for the week, here's like 4 reading assignments, and then 2 podcasts and a video to watch, and then each day we talk about a different one and we'd connect it. And
discussion.
It was there weren't that, I think there was 10 people in my class maybe, so it was a smaller class too, which was nice because we would form our desks in a circle, we'd sit and then we'd just talk, and it was very student led.
That's really great because, for so much of your educational life, you're being taught by the teacher, and you have to be, first grade, second grade, you're learning those foundational skills and knowledge and all of that. So to slowly learn your voice and realize wait, I do have an opinion and I'm going to share it. And then to get that respect around the room, because everyone has a perspective and that's all part of critical thinking and being, becoming a global participant in because we need to be aware of everything that's going on. That's great.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's see what else. And, I also remember that you were on the strategic plan a couple of years ago. So that was our second strategic plan. And you were on, which committee were you on again?
I was on the wellness.
The wellness committee. Okay. And what did you do on the wellness committee?
Me and actually Julia O'Reilly, who was a graduate last year.
She interviewed with me last year.
We created with the other parents who were on and the staff who were on our group, we created a kind of a survey, but it was more of, we created 5 main questions about wellness in Pleasantville schools.
Oh, okay.
And then weren't able, unfortunately, to get to the elementary school, but we went into the middle school and had conversations as well as the high school.
I remember Julia talking about this now. Yeah.
And it was, we got a really more turnout than we expected to have, which is really great. We were from the high school one, we were in the principal's office talking, and there weren't, Mrs. Flatley, who was one of the people on the committee with us, she was in the back of the room kind of observing, but she wasn't really, Julia and I were leading the whole conversation, and it was really great because to hear that what the concerns or like positive things that students were voicing, and we took notes, and then with the information that we gathered from that, we kind of, because we had to present back to the main strategic planning committee with our findings and then what we were asking for, potentially to be put into the budget around wellness.
Right, that's great.
Yeah, so it was really interesting to hear too everyone's voices, especially because at the time I was a sophomore, so I was asking questions to seniors if I didn't know, and it was interesting to see like the upperclassmen too, what their thoughts were, and that they even like came to the meeting that was being led by a sophomore and a junior.
And it's, a lot of people don't, there's things happen. We pivot and shift very quickly in education, but also we don't very quickly because things are in motion. And there's, a lot of things to consider before we can't just like jump into the next thing. We have to say, okay, wait a minute, how is this going to impact all the other students or all the other teachers or, and it's important to consider all of that and, what worked before, what didn't work before. So it is a good experience because sometimes even, when people think about the board, I'm going to join the board and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And then you get on the board and you're like, oh, okay, there's a lot of procedures and processes that have to be followed. So that's another experience for you of learning, oh, okay, this is how groups work and teams and committees and stuff like that. So that's really great. So I'm also, for this episode, I'm interviewing my neighbors who are in 3rd grade and 6th grade. So that's, two very different levels of studenting and of being a student. And, with you, with what you're doing, like, how do you hold it all together? Like, how do you do what you do and learn and your system of keeping it all together? Yeah,
well, it definitely is a lot. And sometimes I have to take a step back and like refocus myself. But freshman year, early on, it was definitely a big adjustment coming into the high school. So I kind of realized that I needed to set up more helpful things for me to be in order to complete all my homework and play field hockey. Because I was playing on varsity as a freshman, and then I also play club field hockey. So that's like a big balance. And then I have my orchestra. So I do.
So you're juggling.
Yes.
You're constantly juggling. You're like this every day.
Yeah, I am. But I've since developed a system where I try to, at the start of each day, create an itinerary for myself, almost of like, these are the activities that I have today. These are the time periods that I'm going to be, for the most part, unable to do my homework. So then I plan accordingly during the day, I use my free periods, my lunch, what can I get done during the school day so that I have less work when I finish my activities. And then even within my activities, like trying to figure out, okay, for the show, for instance, I'm not on stage for the next about like 4 or 5 scenes. So let me try and do a homework assignment here. Right. And try and just manage my time, which has really been good.
That's a giant skill.
Yeah.
The fact that you have did you figure that out yourself, or did your folks help you do that?
Freshman year, my mom recommended that I try and figure out some more skills for time management, and then my system I kind of developed on my own, and
that's
so far.
The most important thing. I mean, everybody's got a system that works for them, and that's a lot of what is happening in the middle school, right, with the color folders and the color binders, and that's a suggestion because everyone operates a little bit differently. But so you found something that works for you. And that's, doing that, like, okay, I got these 15 things to do today. How am I going to fit it all in? And I actually say that to my kids sometimes. It's like, you can get everything in the day. Yeah. You just have to plan it a little bit because certain things take longer or shorter. And you don't want to be going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. So you have to use those pockets of time. Well, that's a good piece of advice. Do you use different binders for all your subjects? Like, what is your binder situation?
I used to, but now I have a math notebook, and then I have a folder in my math notebook, which I keep my math like papers.
Yeah.
But most of my classes, because we have the laptops, have gone paperless for the most part.
Right.
So I have one notebook for English and social studies, and then if an elective.
Yeah.
To take notes in class, and then I have my computer, and I have 2 folders for each of those classes, and then I have one binder in case I need like extra paper or extra space.
Right. My son is a one binder guy. I forget when he started that, but it was just too much. So he just uses one binder with all the, but he does use the color folders. So he uses the color folders in there, and that's what works for him.
Yeah.
So I will make sure that Akshay and Ayla hear that piece of advice.
Yeah, my friends used to joke because my backpack it's been stretched out, because I used to, at the start of freshman and sophomore year, I used to have a binder for each class.
Oh my gosh.
And so my friends used to joke that my bag was ginormous.
Ginormous.
Yeah. But I've since moved away from that.
Well, that's good. So, just kind of what's one of your favorite memories from middle school or Bedford Road School, looking back? As you're entering your final months of Pleasantville High School, what's
in elementary school, I really enjoyed doing the shows.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing every year I really looked forward to doing the shows, because also I felt that by doing the shows and like having more practice and everyone being involved with the shows, my class as a whole always became closer.
Oh, that's nice.
So a lot of times my shows ended up coming in the spring, but that was like a nice end of the school year thing, because we all were like really close by the end of the school year. But when I had them in the beginning of the school year, it was really nice, because I just noticed after that that everyone sort of was more kind to each other, and everyone kind of had each other's backs and stuff, which that to me was always something that I really liked.
That's a really nice thing to say. And I agree. That's the one thing about a play, because you're all together. Everybody has to bring their all.
And then in middle school, my favorite thing would probably be my 5th grade class, because we did a bunch of Mrs. Detweiler in 5th grade.
Say no more. Her Bio 5 is legendary.
Bio 5 Live was definitely one of the highlights of middle school. Yeah. I got to be Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay.
And my friend and I worked on that together, which was really great. And then doing Passports to the Americas too.
Oh yeah, that was a great project.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And
That's great.
It was a really good experience.
And final question, what's up for next year?
Next year, my plan is to play field hockey at Gettysburg College.
Gettysburg.
Yes.
Gettysburg is beautiful.
Yes, it
is. It is a beautiful. I went to the War College there one weekend. That'll be really a nice place to go.
It's really pretty. I visited a few times, and I've met most of the team that I'll be playing with next year. And then I'm hoping to potentially audition for a few of the wind ensembles or music groups as well.
Oh, okay. Flute. That's nice. You'll continue with all of that, and maybe student government there as well. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, and really the final question. Who were you in the kindergarten circus?
I was an acrobat.
Acrobat. Okay, we didn't have a couple of the plays for the last few years. So they did sing-alongs, and I think they're doing the kindergarten circus this year. I'm not sure. Yeah. But anyway, all right. Well, Caitlin, I really appreciate you sitting here with me today, and good luck with the play next week. I can't wait to see it, and in your final couple of months at Pleasantville High School.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
My pleasure. All right. Okay, so now I am sitting here with 2 of my favorite people in the neighborhood, right? My neighbors, Ayla and Akshay Malhotra. And Ayla's in 3rd grade. Akshay is in 6th grade. So, who wants to go first?
Me.
Okay. So, how are you doing in school so far? We're right at the halfway mark, right? We just got the middle school. We just got the first half, the second quarter report cards. So, I know they just posted today.
Really?
Yeah.
We got to look at them.
We got to look at them after the call. So, how are you doing halfway through the school year, Ayla?
Well, first of all, I can't believe it's already halfway through the school year. Like how did
Exactly.
that time flew?
Time flew. Well, being in school all day, you're very busy, right?
I guess.
Mm-hmm. Tell me a typical day in the life of a third grader.
Well, you get dropped off, you walk into school, and so usually there's a teacher like asking like so there's like a teacher and you have to fill out a form at home with like your temperature and all the stuff for COVID with COVID. So
Mm-hmm.
it like they make sure you will have like done that, and then if you don't, you go to the office, do some stuff. If you do, you just can walk right into school. And then you go to your classroom, you do some morning work, and then like you do sometimes we do foundations, got reading time after morning work. It's like it's different every day. And before foundations or whatever we do, we have we go over the morning work, and then we have after the whatever we do, we have snack, and then we usually so we do something, and then we have recess and lunch. Recess is first, then it goes to lunch, then we do math, then we sometimes will have like a read aloud, or maybe like we'll have free time and something. So after we math, then we pack up and we go home. And somewhere in that day we have specials.
The specials, right. And the specials, now, do you get to go to the specials? Like, do you go to the science room and the music room and the art room this year?
Yes, we go everywhere.
Of the specials, library and science, what's your favorite one?
Mm, all of them.
All of them. Well, that's good. All right. What about you, Akshay? We're halfway through sixth grade. How are you doing?
I'm doing a lot better than I was last year because I was kind of doing terribly on the online school. I like my second quarter grades were just not that good. First quarter and fourth quarter, the only ones that were like okay, because first quarter I was able to turn in anything at any time. I would still get 100. Second quarter, it became a week or you didn't get score. Same thing with third quarter. And then fourth quarter, we were fully in. So I'm doing a lot better than I was last year. I'm also surprised that it is already halfway through.
Yeah.
I think
How
that's
do you
really
How's the difference between, like last year you had just the two teachers and this year you're now changing, you have all these different teachers. That's a lot to manage, all the different personalities.
well, in like the first few weeks, it was really hard because but we also had 5-minute breaks. Like the period in between classes was 5 minutes. Cause I've also learned like which classes there's just unnecessary things to take. Because like in certain classes, you just have to take like a binder of just paper that
Right.
you're going to use like twice a year.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of bringing that to class when A, you could do it on the computer, B, you could just take a sheet from the teacher.
Right. Or from another notebook. I mean, and that's
Yeah.
one of the things that you're learning these couple of years in middle school is your own organization style, right? They've given you this idea, right? They've said, okay, these are the supplies that you need. And then slowly you're realizing, well, this is what is going to work best for me. So for example, I know my son, he had one binder for everything. He didn't want all those different notebooks. It was too much. So he had one binder and he put all of the, folders as the divider, and that way he only had to worry with one, and it was that worked for him. Whereas other kids like those the travel what are those called again?
Travel folder.
Travel folders? Or, no.
Yeah. So
those like briefcases.
The only time I go to my locker is usually just to put away my science binder because I do science. Then next I have quad, which is right across from my locker. So I can really just stay in my locker for like 2 minutes. So I usually start the day, I get my science binder, then I go to science. After science, then I'll put away my science binder. Because usually what sits in my bag is my science binder, my math notebook, math workbook, my art stuff, my pencil case, and my travel folder and my computer.
What?
And then most of the day I don't have my science binder.
Right.
So
And
and then maybe I'll have a mouse because it's like annoying to use the trackpad. But so that's really all I carry around the entire day. It's just my computer, travel folder,
Right.
art supplies.
And now that you said you're, for those of us that know what the middle school looks like, it's pretty small. Like the 6th grade is kind of in one place, whereas in the high school, I don't know if you've been in the high school yet, but
Yeah.
it's pretty big. And sometimes your locker is way over here and your classes are way over there. So you learn to, again, reorganize the way that you carry your stuff around. So it's kind of fun to figure that all out. So, but Ayla, you don't have a locker right now. You have home base in 3rd grade, so that makes that all pretty easy. Tell me
Well-
what. Go ahead.
Well, in 5th grade, it was a bit easier because A, you had less classes, and
Yeah.
then B, there wasn't a locker because you just didn't have
You
lockers.
don't have a locker, right?
So you were always carrying everything around. I mean, it was kind of annoying. I actually weighed my bag. It was 13 pounds.
13 pounds. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, my son carries his computer, and sometimes it's pretty heavy, and he doesn't use his locker ever. His locker is too far away from his classes, so he doesn't use it. You as I say, we all figure out what works for us. So tell me, I'm going to go back to you, Ayla. So tell me what's different from 2nd grade to 3rd grade. Is 3rd grade harder? Is it more challenging? Do you like the challenge?
I think the major change is the fact that we went from doing like a bunch of online school to none. Because like also what Akshay said, I didn't like the online school. It was hard for me to learn. I didn't learn that good.
Right. And now we're in school every day, which is really great. So what else are you looking forward to for 4th grade, Ayla? Because you get to pick an instrument if you're going to do
Well, I think there's a field trip that we're doing in 4th grade.
Okay.
Well,
That's pretty good.
So I'm looking forward to that, and also I'm looking forward to if we have a play that year because we're not having plays this year.
Right. You're doing the
No.
sing-alongs.
Yes, just sing
Yeah.
along. So if we have a play that next year, I'm looking forward to that.
So hopefully you'll get to do a play next year and chorus. And will you pick an instrument to go in the band or orchestra?
Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna pick, but so I'm looking forward to something not in 4th grade, but in a few days
Okay.
we are going to have. So it's near Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Yeah, we are going to have a pajama day, a bring your stuff animal to school day, a movie day, combine all of that because we filled up our compliment jar, so we get all that.
That's
And
great.
we're also going to be able. Then we're also going to have a Valentine's Day craft. So
great.
yeah, so I'm very excited for that.
That sounds like a lot of excitement. And what about you, Akshay? What are you looking forward to for 7th grade? There's modified sports, there's student government.
I don't know. Is there tennis?
There is tennis. I know, and I don't know what the rules are, but I know that we have one that like the tennis is usually the modified gets to play at the same time as varsity. So I think they split it like the modified and JV would play for the first hour and then the varsity would play later. Mr. Coffey is the coach for the guys. So I think, but I know that there's modified track and cross country, but tennis I think is all together. And
Yeah,
that's
I'd like to do
great.
that. I might try track or something.
Yeah.
So I'm not very good at running.
The one thing about the cross country and winter track and spring track is because it's co-ed, it's a very friendly social time as well. Aside from, you're competing against yourself. I mean, you're competing against others when you're in a race, but it's a little bit more individual. But because it's co-ed, it's really a very nice, supportive environment. Both my two younger kids have done cross country and track, not always, but they've done it periodically, and they really like it because it's it's co-ed, so it's boys and girls together, which is nice. Will
Yeah,
you're in the band now. Will you stay in the band?
I don't know, because you do get the option to quit, like just don't do it again. It depends on what my schedule is like next year. If I have like a ton of classes that are 10th, then I might not do it because it's just annoying or I just can't attend it. But I think I will most likely do it because we've just finished the hard part. We're learning the fingering, we're learning how to read the notes, we're learning all that. And next year it's just practicing that. It's going to be a lot easier. That's what my teacher said.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to 8th grade when we do the Washington trip. That sounds like it would be very fun.
Yeah.
And then it's that there's there's one that they did recently. Like they didn't do it overnight. It was a one day.
The one day. So the 7th grade always has gone to Fishkill. And this year they were able to go for a one day because it's just about an hour's drive from here. And in the past they've gone, I think it's a 2-night overnight. And it's fun because the high school students are the counselors and then you have the teachers. So that's been a fun trip, but at least they were able to do that this year as a one-day trip. And that's a really great day. Really great event. And, maybe they'll get to do Washington next year. There was just so much unknown. They weren't able to plan the trip that far in advance, but I know they're going to do something special for the 8th graders this year, which is good. So now that we're just about out of time, we've been talking a long time, believe it or not. Tell your sister, what's one piece of advice? Now it's a couple of years still before, a year and a half before she gets to the middle school. What's a piece of advice you would give your sister when she starts in 5th grade?
Memorize all your classes.
How?
Magic. And then also try to figure out what you never use in class and don't bring it to class.
So I'm not going to be able to do that on the first day of school, so it's going to take a bit.
Yeah, so like in certain classes, if you just have to bring a binder with paper every day and you only use it and you realize that unless you're using it at least every other day or so,
right.
I wouldn't bring it to class. I would just I feel like if it gets to the point where it's one time every quarter, twice a quarter, then I would just not bring it. Just take what the teacher has.
Learn what works for you, right? Think about the school supplies that work well for you, and that helps you to be a successful student because not everybody, as I say, my son used one notebook for all his subjects and another kid I know used spirals. So everybody has slightly different ways. So the teachers are just looking at different ideas to help you learn to become organized.
Try to remember your classrooms and try to go to your locker the least amount possible.
Yeah. One of my science teacher, she said, so science is the only class where we actually use a binder. We don't use a binder anywhere else. Sure. And she said, some people, they're sorting through papers and they open the binder rings, then they flip all the papers to the last page. And then all the papers come out and they're like, oh my God, it's gonna take forever back in. And then she said, in 5th grade, we're gonna have way more stuff in our binders. So we're gonna want to be able to know that to not do that because it's gonna take much, much longer.
Maybe not. There's a lot of stuff to be a good student, right? Good student skills. So that's what you guys are doing now. And as you go year to year, you're building those skills and on how you learn best. And then by the time you get to 8th and 9th grade, when you're taking more advanced classes, you'll you'll know what binder works. You'll know the band that if you want to be in the band or the play, or you're trying all these things out, because once you get to the high school, there's a lot of choices. And so you're building all these lessons now so that when you get to ninth grade, you'll see what different things you want to do.
Well,
Okay?
that's another thing I want to do in 7th grade. Try to get to like all the advanced classes and stuff.
Sure. And that sets you up for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I really appreciated you joining me on Zoom today. A lot of fun to let everybody know what it's like as a 3rd grader and a 6th grader in good old Pleasantville Union Free School District. So I'm going to hit stop record. So say goodbye.
Bye.
You can see that each stage is different, and we know it's important to be in that moment and not rush through it. It's all part of the learning experience. For example, for Akshay, he's learning about the best notebook system, and that's kind of a big deal in the middle school because he's learning what works best for him. And we saw with Caitlin, the choices we offer in the high school have allowed her to explore different interests, which will help her as she moves on after graduation. Now, here are our high school department chairs presenting the variety of classes available to our students.
Hello and welcome, families. I'm Mary Prevost, the Mathematics Department Chair. As you may know, New York State requires 3 years of high school mathematics, but here at Pleasantville High School, we strongly encourage all students to take 4 or 5 years of high school math. And I'm so happy to be able to tell you that almost 100% of our students do. We have developed a robust mathematics program which is designed to meet the needs of all types of mathematics learners. Among the materials you've received from us, there's a mathematics course sequence flowchart. If you take a look at the flowchart, you'll see that there are many opportunities available to children, depending on their coursework, motivation, and their interests. We have the traditional sequence that begins with algebra and culminates in Advanced Placement Calculus AB or Advanced Placement Calculus BC. For those students who start algebra in 9th grade, the traditional sequence would culminate in our pre-calculus or college algebra course. Any of these sequences provide a very strong mathematics background, so our students are extremely well prepared for college level work. We offer other courses such as college quantitative reasoning. This is a financial literacy course, and students study topics that have immediate application, such as cash flow, budgeting, personal finances, taxes, loans, mortgages, and credit cards. This is a very popular offering and can be taken as a senior level math course, or it can be taken concurrently with other math courses. We offer advanced placement statistics, and I believe that all students should have a fundamental understanding of statistics because we know that decisions are data-driven. We have 3 computer science offerings, a 1-semester web design, a 1-semester Python programming, as well as advanced placement computer science, which is a Java programming course. No prior background in computer science is needed to enroll in any of these courses. The electives that I've just mentioned are popular among the students, and many students take an elective concurrently with the regular math course. For students who might need additional math support, we offer a math workshop. This is a non-credit bearing class that meets every other day and is staffed by math faculty. The course is designed to provide additional instruction, strategies, and intervention for students who need to strengthen math skills. Activity period, which is the last period of our school day, is another source of extra support, as students are welcome to go visit their classroom teacher. Through our partnership with Westchester Community College, students have the opportunity to earn college credit while enrolled in a high school math class. These courses are indicated on the flowchart with an asterisk and can also be found in our course directory. We use a variety of textbook series which have online packages. One series that we use is Big Ideas. We use this software package in most of our algebra, geometry, and algebra 2 trig courses. The textbook is available both in hardcover and online. We have a math team at Pleasantville High School, and I'm happy to tell you that there are no tryouts. Every student plays every time. The math teachers in our department understand that we teach children mathematics. We don't teach mathematics, we are working with people, and we are here to help them in any way that we can.
Welcome to Pleasantville High School. My name is Tom Buffuto, and I am the chairperson of the Social Studies Department. I have worked at Pleasantville High School for 25 years. I am also the moderator for the student government, for the yearbook, and I also coach JV girls soccer. I am pleased to welcome you and to share with you the things that my department does. Our main concern is always going to be your child. We have a tremendous amount of different courses that we offer. So we have Global 9, Global 10, which ends in the Regents, then U.S. History, which is in junior year, also ends in the Regents, and then senior year we have Government and Economics. But also, we have a tremendous amount of electives. We have Global 9 Honors, we have AP World History in 10th grade, we have AP U.S. History and Government in 11th grade, we have AP Government in 12th grade, we also have AP Psychology, which you could take in sophomore, junior, and senior year. We also offer other electives such as Sociology, Justice and Society, Military History, and our capstone course, which is our Humanities Research, which is similar to taking a college course. Now, with all those electives, one of the things we don't want you to do is have your children take every elective. It's like going to a buffet at a restaurant. We want you to take little bites. We don't want you to overburden your child because we're concerned about their social and emotional welfare. What I'd like you to do is, if you have any questions, please call me. My cell number is 914-536-6915. I would be happy to discuss anything and everything with you. Please don't hesitate to call me. You're not bothering me. We don't treat your children as students. We treat them as children. We treat them the way we want our children to be treated. Again, welcome. Looking forward to hearing from you. Please don't hesitate to contact me. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Joanne Puglisi. I am the proud department chairperson for Pleasantville High School School District. I have been teaching in Pleasantville for over 20 years, and this is about my 35th year of teaching science altogether. Not only am I the science department chairperson, but I am also the proud parent of 2 Pleasantville graduates. So I kind of look at things with a hat of both being a parent and both being a science specialist. I am pleased to be joined in the science department by 9 strong content specialists in their area. Science, unlike some of the areas, we have content specialists in biology, in chemistry, in physics, and some of those electives that we offer. Our mission in the department is plain and simple. We want to get kids interested and engaged and excited about science. So whatever we can do to make that happen, we do it. We do a mix of both low-tech and high-tech laboratory experiences. Why? Because they will, in some instances, need to be able to do things manually, like calculating density, but they also have to be able to use high-tech equipment to be able to analyze data. So we do use some high-tech software, like Vernier software, to get that done. And we do extensively analyze the data using some of the Microsoft products like Excel. We also do a lot of hands-on science work, including extensive lab work and including topical projects of areas of interest within science. That's what we do to get them engaged. But when we think about our classes, we can say that our classes that we offer are a traditional science sequence. Now, some people scatter at the word traditional, but traditional just means that we're offering basic classes covering all the genres of science, including the physical setting and the living environment setting. And we round off that with a multitude of electives that are also in those areas. The courses that we offer are available at many different levels. We have honors level, Regents level, and modified level. The honors level classes prepare the students not only for the local New York State Regents exam, but also prepare them for the national exam in chemistry, biology, or physics, which is called the SAT 2 subject exams, which is a national exam offered by the College Board, the same people who make the AP exams and to make the SAT exams. So this is a 1-hour subject-specific exam on advanced topics in those areas. Our Regents level courses and our modified courses meet the needs of those learners as well. Our modified teachers are not only content specialists, they also have a dual certification in special education. We also offer collaborative classes which have both the content teacher and the duly certified content teacher both within that classroom. Although we offer many levels, placement is really done on the individual basis. So there is no cookie cutter answer to where your student will be placed. We're placing them not only when they come in, but we're also looking at where they want to end up 4 years from now. So we want to make sure that they're taking the right classes at the right level to make them competitive for when they go on to college programs. So not only do we want to get them into the programs, but we do want to give them the ability to thrive in those advanced level programs in college. To get them prepared for some of those advancements in college, we also offer AP classes. So AP classes are advanced placement classes offered by the College Board. And at the end of those classes, students take an exam, and if they meet a certain level of the exam, the colleges may accept those credits in lieu of classes at that university. However, we also offer a science research program. This is different than our AP class. The science research program is a dual enrollment program. So the students are not only students at Pleasantville High School, but they're also duly enrolled at the University of Albany. And during their 3 years in the program, the science research program begins in 10th grade. So during their 3 years in the science research program, they have the opportunity to earn 12 college credits. Now, these are different than the AP because these are actually on a transcript that they can then transfer into any school that they may be interested in attending. What makes Pleasantville Science Department different? One, the passion of our teachers. We have excellent, motivated teachers that are really here to help your student not only like science, but really love science. What else makes us different? There is no cookie cutter answer to how we place students. I take the time, as well as the guidance counselors, to make sure we're meeting their needs, not only during their 4 years here, but to get them prepared for whatever they want to do when they get to college. What else makes us special? We have great people and we have great students in this building. I am so excited to be able to offer you this opportunity to explain our science department. I am available to any of you if you have any individual questions that may have not been covered at this presentation. Feel free to reach out to me.
Hi, I'm Greg Nemick, and I'm the head of the Pleasantville High School Art Department. I'd like to talk about some of the opportunities in the visual arts here in Pleasantville. We offer classes for every level of interest and ability. Studio art is a great opportunity to explore different media like drawing, sculpting, printmaking, to learn what kind of art making appeals to you. We offer traditional classes like painting and ceramics, and more modern classes like digital art and animation. Eventually, you may want to take advanced studio to work on pieces for a college portfolio, and AP art to experience a college-level art class. The most important thing is that the art department has a place for everyone. A state champion soccer player who doesn't like to draw made this amazing crock in ceramics class. Ceramic. Students who went on to art school created these digital drawings and this painting. The art department is a community. Students like to come to the art rooms during their free periods to work or just hang out. Some of them are really into making art, and some are just happy to find a group where they feel like they belong. In addition to art classes, we have an after-school art club and a National Art Honor Society. People who want to be involved in our annual musical but don't want to be on stage can join the painting crew and work together after school to bring the sets to life. That's really fun. I like to think of the art department as a place where you can shift gears, open up your mind to a different kind of thinking. We encourage you to explore your creativity and your own way of seeing the world. You will learn how to use equipment and technology that you may not be familiar with, and you will learn things about how you think and how you express yourself. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Hello, my name is Danielle DeFranco. I'm the chairperson of the English department here at Pleasantville High School. I've been teaching at PHS for 14 years. I typically teach the English 9 regions and 9 honors classes. The English classes here at PHS study the major genres of literature through an exploration of both ancient and modern texts. All the English classes follow the New York State Common Core standards and prepare students for the State Regents exam and AP exams if you choose to pursue AP courses. At the 9th and 10th grade levels, students have the opportunity to enroll in the honors classes. And at the 11th and 12th grade levels, students can choose to further challenge themselves with the AP 11th and 12th grade courses. Students also have the option of taking a creative writing elective during their high school experience, which allows them to cultivate their creative writing skills or discovering new talent for writing. If English is one of your strengths, you may elect to enroll in the National English Honor Society or be a part of our award-winning literary magazine, Reflections. We also have had students recognized by Scholastic Writing Awards for their wonderful abilities as young writers. The English department is continually working to improve a student's critical thinking skills while at the same time foster an appreciation for literature. Because, after all, the study of literature is, as P.T. Barnum stated, one of the most interesting and significant expressions of humanity. I look forward to meeting your children here at Pleasantville High School.
As you've just heard, we do have a lot of options for our students. And as Mr. Bafuta suggests, please encourage your student to take a chance and try something. My older son's trajectory completely shifted when he took an elective in his senior year. Having the choices of electives, of APs, of sports, clubs, the arts, this is all part of the learning journey and the explorations our students need to become critical thinkers and engaged community participants. I thank all of those of you who voted yes for our budget so that we can provide all of this for our students. Enter to learn, go forth to serve. This is what we celebrate in the Pleasantville School District. Thank you for watching, and please look for our next edition as we continue the conversation about inside Pleasantville schools. Have a great day.